And it hurts that I got them to a place where they're getting treated like they're being treated. I'm so sick and tired. This shit keeps me up at night because we go into the game and we know how it's going to be called, and I can't save them. Like I can't. And if you see my demeanor on the side, first quarter I'm low key, and then after it's just I don't know what to do. So I'm tired, like physically tired, like mentally and emotionally. It's draining to see a reputation just if Marina gets her arm up, it's an offensive foul every time, every single time, even if it's nothing. And we teach three-quarter defense, three-quarter defense. So we never wrap. We work on it every day. Every day. It's a part of the vitamins that we have. And so all the player has to do is jump and they get a foul call. Okay. And then I get told maybe I missed it. And I'm it's just so draining, like emotionally draining. And um to get told, some stuff that I was told, I'm like, come on. Like, and then I try to have a relationship just professional. There's a certain amount of professionalism you got to have in this game. And we prepare so much. We prepare. We sleep late. And that's every coach, even the Indiana coaches. And so the only thing you just wanted to just be look at the game. Just look at the game. Look at the game, please. When you go home, look at the game. And just tell me what you think. You could be for whoever you want to be for, but just look at the game. And so I'm sorry if I'm not happy and I don't answer the questions the way you want me to answer the questions. But this is tough. It's really tough. All right. We talk about mental health and all this stuff. Well, think about ours. Okay. We want the game to be fair.
What's going on, Coach? Can you kind of speak to just what you saw from Robyn Parks in terms of just her fortitude and setting the tone two-way for you guys early?
She started off good. But again, we got to be even more disciplined. And I thought a couple of times she wasn't as disciplined, but she played a good game.
And then last game, you guys, of course, you had an extra period, but you guys allowed 54 points in the paint. And today you kind of consolidated that some to 42. Can you kind of speak to what you saw from your defense?
It doesn't change really because me and my staff were talking about a stat. And you might have allowed 42 points in the paint, but if they get to the line because of attempts that they make in the paint, it's the same game. Couple of fouls I didn't think we fouled. But they were able to score at least 50 points in the paint because they got calls.
Coach, just to get back to the free throw line, I know it's a taxing on you mentally, but how do you see your team try and rally around it and fight through it? I know you don't want them to flop, but what are some ways that
we practice not fouling? And up until this point, we're the least fouling team. We don't send teams to the free throw line, but it's nothing you can do when somebody embellishes and you don't see it. I'm sending in 25 calls a game, like 25. And Elena's not a big name, not yet. Neither is Robyn Parks or Dana or anybody that played today. And so sometimes, we're all human. And I'm not talking about any group or anything, but like I'm just emotionally drained.
And then just to follow up, to see this team have the performance that it did without, the leader in Kalia on the floor, you have preached next player up mentality to kind of see it also come together today.
We didn't win the game. So I don't deal in those. When we coach to win the game. We don't coach to get close because Kalia's not on the floor. We coach to win the game. So it's no victory in Kalia not playing and us getting close enough. It doesn't matter. Close enough doesn't get you anything.
James, sorry, just one more about the free throws. You had mentioned that you are sending in a lot of requests for reviews. Are you getting any type of feedback at this point?
Yeah, I'm getting feedback.
Any more? One follow-up with Steven.
All right, last one for you, Coach. Just what have you seen from Dana and the success that she's been sustaining coming off the bench and toggling different roles for you?
Defensively, when she's locked in defensively, her game changes. She played a better defensive game for the most part in the second half, for at least 15 to 16 minutes of the second half. And it allowed her to have a good game offensively. So, yeah.
exactly happening.
Marina, you set a new career high today in your points. What was just cooking for you early on that you were able to find your shot early?
I think I was just reading the defense, and my teammates were doing a great job passing it to me. Like Courtney had 10 assists. She was always looking for me, hit me right in my pocket at the right time. So that all matters when you're like a shooter like me and somebody that just needs a little space to see it. Everybody kind of needs to be looking out for you. So my teammates looking out for me, I appreciate that, and try to do my best with what we can do.
How would you evaluate the team's overall defensive performance? Even take away the free throw situation, but how would you guys assess the overall defensive performance?
It looks like we out rebounded them, but it feels like we didn't. I think with this team, they don't stop fighting. Like they continue to keep playing. So you think you got to stop and they get an offensive rebound, or you think you have your hand on the ball and then they come up with it. And they've kind of made that their identity, and you have to match their energy at all times. And I don't feel like we match their energy on the defensive end.
Marina, especially late game with those rotations where you were in with Dana, it felt like the two of you were just feeding off each other extremely well. What do you think it is about her game that kind of brings out the best in yours, and vice versa?
I think we both kind of are playmakers and decision makers. So like that trust factor and that chemistry. I actually had a chance to play with her in Dallas for a few weeks. And we played against each other at Louisville. So I kind of am familiar with her. And she just plays hard. She's like a hooper. She's a baller. So you can always feed off of that.
Just kind of following up on that, with both of your ability to be like on and off ball, how does that kind of change the way that those offensive sets work when you're in together?
I think it just like relieves pressure from both of us. And then also Courtney, like Courtney didn't score tonight, but she moved the ball so well and was really selfless. So as much as I would have liked to win the game, as our whole team would have, and there's also some bright spots here, like finding chemistry within the players and just kind of going with what we have and trying to still find chemistry, because like we're missing Kalia and she's a really good player. So like just being able to find chemistry. So I think Dana's ready for her opportunities at all times. So you can always appreciate that.
Marina, was there anything specific that you felt they did to take you out of your game in the fourth quarter? You had just 2 shot attempts, so
You trying to get me fined? Yeah. I think I could do a better job screening when they're face guarding me. So I can get people open rather than kind of thinking to get open myself, kind of going and screening for somebody and even screening my own man. So I'll go back to the film and evaluate myself.
Marina, obviously a difficult night, especially when you're working on short rotations. But how do you maintain that? Like you said, looking for the positives, keeping a positive attitude. I know you've had practice as long as you played basketball, but in this kind of a season, how do you maintain that throughout a tough stretch of the schedule?
I always try to think about it as you got to take the dark with the light. So as far dark as it goes is as light as it's going to go. So if we can weather this storm with so many people out, and kind of finding ourselves, and I mean, there's so many new people on this team. I'm not making an excuse, but I also am saying that you got to stay positive, because the tides can change at any time. And if you're down, you have bad energy, negative energy, you're not gonna be ready when it's time for Chicago to turn up, you know?
And so obviously winning is the goal in any game, regardless of who's available or who's not. But what kind of takeaways can you get from a game like this one, where obviously you are extremely short man in terms of your traditional rotation going against a healthy team, and just having a lot of adversity against you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like you got to stay positive. You got to find the bright spots. Dana stepped up again. She's always ready. Like, and you go down the line. Courtney moved to the point guard, 10 assists. Like, I don't know if it's a career high, but it's got to be close. Like, Robyn stepped up, 5 for 6 field goals. Like, if we can come together and gel defensively and get rebounds, it's gonna look dangerous down the line. But right now, you can't let it get too close up. You gotta see the big picture.
And then one last thing. So, of course, you and Dana talked a lot about turnovers last week and how y'all had y'all individual struggles with it at times. Today, it wasn't nearly as much of an issue as it's been in like games past. Has that been like a point of emphasis, not necessarily being careful, but just being like, determined with where you're going with the ball and commit to it?
Yeah, I mean, just moving the ball and playing together more kind of eliminates turnovers as it is. And then so I got to stop making that armbar look obvious, apparently.
Jeffrey on Zoom. Jeffrey, please unmute.
Hey Marina, you had 36 points tonight, the second most in Sky history. How was it you were able to stay in that zone for so long and yet work so well within the flow of the offense tonight?
Really, I just keep moving. Like when I'm at the wing position, I'm just gonna keep moving, using screens, taking people with me. If you're not ready on the shot, it's going up. So I think it's just like trying to stay aggressive and stay focused in what we're trying to do as a team, and then bring my strengths to the team.
All right, thanks so much, Marina.
Any last more from Marina? Thank you, Marina.
Yep.
What's up, Carly?
What's up, Robyn? 13 points, career high for you. You got the first start, take away the ending of the game. But how did you just feel in this game getting your first start in the W?
I felt good. I feel like I just had to be ready tonight. Knew Kyle wasn't playing, so I knew that the team was going to depend on me a lot. So I just had to be ready on the defensive end and offensive end. And
how would you evaluate the team's overall defensive performance tonight?
I think it was good. I think we fought. I think we had some mishaps, sometimes some miscommunication on defensive end, but overall I feel like we fought. Obviously there's things that we can tweak when we go into practice before the next game, but overall I think we fought really hard on defense.
What's going on, Robyn?
What's up with
you? So you spent a lot of time, of course, with the starting group today. Usually you kind of mixed in with the rotations. How did it feel to have that extra space and obviously letting that thing fly, knocking down 3 threes today?
No, I mean, it felt good. I mean, I had 2 days of practice with the starting lineup, so that was able to get us a little bit of rhythm, chemistry going. So yeah, it just felt good being out there with them.
And then it seemed like you obviously on the offensive side had a rhythm, but on defense, especially early, you had a rhythm with the rotations within everything. How did you feel just kind of rotating around with the starting group again? Like, how does it feel in contrast to being with the reserves?
I mean, defense is, just a focal point. So I'm always on defense going to try to be as locked in as possible. So, and like I said, we've been practicing. That's what we practice like every day. And for the last 2 days, I've been practicing with the starting group. So I just feel like, yeah, our rhythm was real good, especially on defense.
We'll go to Zoom. Jeffrey, please unmute. Jeffrey.
Hey, Robyn, great game tonight. You talked about this a bit with Steven, but I was wondering what was it like for you for your first start to be out there on the court in the opening tip? Was that like a great moment for you?
It was definitely a great moment, but I was just trying to play as free as possible. I wasn't really trying to think about it being my first start or anything like that. I wanted to just get out there and do what I could do to try to help the team win to the best of my ability.
All right. Thanks so much, Robyn.
Yeah.
The assist numbers today were also relatively high. The passing seems to be something that both you, Courtney Williams, and a few others have worked on. Is that something that you've also wanted to work on? It seems like it's more selfless ball movement type basketball.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what coach preaches every day. We got to team people to death. So just be a great team, and that includes moving the ball, sharing the ball with each other. Even if you open, if somebody else is open and get an even better shot, that's the best. That's the play you're supposed to make. So.
Awesome. Thank you, Robyn.
All right. Thank you.